I think we should have been, 'cause we're falling apart, baby. Ghost doing that good evening. Don't pick up the pieces, just leave it now, 'cause we're falling apart. Yeah. Wishing for miles away. I see big things you say. I see them from miles away. I keep bringing you on.
Hello everyone, this is Matt Brisboy with Newport Beach Television, and we're here at the 22nd Annual Newport Beach Fire and Lifeguard Appreciation Awards Banquet, and I'm here with Newport Beach Chamber of Commerce President Steve Rosansky. And Steve, this is the 22nd year the Chamber and the Commodores have hosted this wonderful event for our fire and lifeguards. What are some of the things you have to say about it? You excited about tonight?
I'm always excited to entertain the firefighters and the lifeguards and honor them for their service to our community. I'm especially happy to do it because I went through the Fire Ops 101 program last Saturday, and I really got a good appreciation for what firefighters do. It's you know, everybody sees them running around town and fire engines, things like that, but when you're trying to put out a fire or open up a car with the jaws of life or run into a smoke-filled building, it's a whole different story.
You got to experience it kind of firsthand with the 80 pounds of gear and everything that they do and stuff. You're pretty tired after that full day of working out?
Believe it or not, I went to like a dress-up gala that night, so it didn't really hit me until actually Monday. Monday I got a little bit of sore, I'll admit to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Steve, for all the work that you and the Chamber and the Commodores have done to put on this wonderful event once again tonight.
Yeah, we're happy to do it. Also, I want to give a shout out to the Marriott Hotel, Debbie Snavely. She does an awesome job here. She really just gives it away because she loves the firefighters. Newport Beach and Company and Gary Sherwin, the so-called king of hospitality. He kicked in for this as well, and Caliber Collision tonight as well as one of our sponsors. So thank you to all of them, and thank you for your service to our community, and let's get the show on the road.
Right, yeah, thank you. And on behalf of the Newport Beach Fire Department, we'd like to thank all of our table sponsors this year. This event wouldn't be possible without Steve, the Chamber of Commerce, the Commodores, and all the table sponsors who are really here.
Actually, we have 32 tables tonight. Every one of them is a sponsored table.
Right.
Sold out 4 weeks ago.
Awesome.
How about that for community support?
Yeah, that's the Newport Beach Fire Department loves the support of this community, and thank you so much for everything you do to really support public safety in Newport Beach. I'm here with Newport Beach Fire Chief Jeff Boyles, and Chief Boyles has been a longtime employee here at the City of Newport Beach, moving up through the ranks, and excitingly enough for everyone in the city and the Newport Beach Fire Department, it was announced a couple months ago that he is now the new Newport Beach Fire Chief. And so Chief Boyles, this is your first time, you've been at this event many times, but first time as the Chief where you actually get to hand out all the unit citations, all the life-saving awards, all the firefighter, lifeguard, civilian, seasonal lifeguard of the year awards. It's got to be an exciting time for you.
It is exciting. I started with this fire department in February of 2000, so almost 20 years ago, and I remember going to my first event in the year 2000 when it was over at the Dunes. This is the 22nd annual time we've been doing this, so I guess I went to the maybe the third event, so I've been going to every one ever since. Watched it from the sidelines as a firefighter and as a paramedic and as a captain, as a battalion chief, and now I get the honor of standing up on stage and handing out the awards. We run over 14,000 calls a year on our fire department, so we go through a lot of reports, we go through a lot of recommendations to whittle down what we think are about 10 calls that encapsulate what our people do and try and recognize them publicly for life-saving awards and other unit citations and accommodations and some of the various things that they perform out there in the field every day.
And with our fire department running over 14,000 calls a year, our lifeguards performing over 4,000 rescues a year, our fire prevention bureau doing over 4,000 inspections a year, to narrow it down to 10 really important calls is pretty difficult. It takes a whole committee to get this together to really select these award winners tonight.
Very difficult, and like Matt said, our Fire Prevention Bureau is out there doing code enforcement and making sure that our community risk reduction is lowering every day. Our lifeguards are on the beaches, in the towers, on the boat, in the bay. They're doing the Lido Bridge these days, so they're tasked with all kinds of different unique tasks. So yeah, going through them all and finding 10 or so that that meet the criteria is very difficult. And then we get to do the Firefighter of the Year, the Seasonal Lifeguard of the Year, the Full-Time Lifeguard of the Year, and the Civilian of the Year as well, which is pretty cool.
Right. Well, thank you, Chief Boyles, for being here and joining us here on MBTV. We look forward to this great ceremony tonight. I'm here with Newport Beach Lifeguard Chief Mike Halfide, and Chief Halfide has been with the Lifeguard Department for the past 35 years here in Newport, so he's been to all 22 years of this awards banquet. Chief Halfide, it's got to be pretty exciting, to recognize some of our really big lifeguard calls this year. Our Lifeguard Department performed over 200,000 calls for service in this last year, made over 4,000 rescues, and to narrow down some of the more special, memorable calls had to be a pretty hard task.
That's the hardest thing about something like this is recognizing that people who not just did their job, not just saved lives, but went above and beyond. We have some really great people today who made rescues that saved people's lives, that put their lives in peril, and really made a difference. And we're just so proud that to be part of the community of Newport Beach, to be here with our firefighter brothers and sisters and the rest of the city, just embracing what we do. And the beach is such an important part of the city and the commerce of the city. It's what separates Newport from many others, and we're just so proud to be part of this.
Well, with over 11 million annual beach visitors at our beaches each year, the season really never stops. We're busy year-round at our Lifeguard Department, and it really is special what we do and what you all do in that 7 miles of beaches. That really is what makes Newport Beach great.
That's been the biggest trend over my career, is that summer used to be a discrete season. Now it starts in March and doesn't end until November. And even then, we're a year-round destination, and everyone loves coming to Newport Beach, and the beach is part of that, and it's just great to be part of this.
And our lifeguards are truly the ambassadors to the city. They're on the beach. They're often the first public contact both residents and visitors have to really teach them and tell them everything about Newport Beach.
It's so important that for our lifeguards, we teach customer service from the very beginning, because on a Saturday afternoon, City Hall's not open, but the lifeguard out in the tower, they're the ones who are helping people understand where they can go, whether they want to find a place to eat, whether they need to rent a boogie board, or they need assistance and want to know where it's safe to go. So our lifeguards are such great representatives of the city of Newport Beach, and we're just glad to be part of this.
Well, thank you so much for being here tonight, and we're really looking forward to this award ceremony. Thank you, Chief. I'm here with Newport Beach Life Safety Specialist, Ramey One, and this year, Ramey is being recognized as the Newport Beach Fire Department Civilian of the Year. Ramey, this has got to be a big honor to receive this award and be recognized and chosen by your peers. What are some of the things you have to tell the Newport Beach public here tonight?
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be recognized by my coworkers. And to receive this award means a lot to me, and it's one of the highlights of my career. It's so nice and to be recognized.
And Ramey, your division, the Fire Prevention Division, you do over 4,000 annual inspections for the fire department every year for the city and things like that at places here like the Newport Beach Marriott and everywhere. Can you give us a little bit about what the Fire Prevention Bureau does here in Newport Beach?
One of the missions of the Newport Beach Fire Department is to protect life and property and the environment, and one of those ways is to inspect annually those occupancies or those buildings that they're maintaining their systems and equipment for fire safety. We also do many other things, many other all-hazard fire department responsibilities, where we do fuel modification zones, and that's where we like to focus lately, is with the vegetation management within your own home and property.
All right, well, thank you for being here, and congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. I'm here with Newport Beach firefighter Bobby Salerno, and firefighter Salerno has been selected as our Firefighter of the Year. So Bobby, this has to be a big honor to be selected by your 130 peers. Following the 109-year tradition here in Newport Beach, you are the 109th Firefighter of the Year here, and what does that really mean to you and your family in this department?
Well, Matt, it's an absolute honor to be selected by my fellow firefighters for this honor. Happy to be here tonight, just honored.
All right, well, I know you come to this quite a bit and you've been at this event. It's really nice to see the Chamber of Commerce, the Commodores, City Council, all of our table sponsors. The community support we get here in the fire department is really overwhelming.
Very grateful for the Newport Beach Chamber of Commerce, the City of Newport Beach for all their support and leadership. Couldn't do it without them.
All right. Well, thank you for being here and congratulations on the well-deserved award. I'm here with Newport Beach Lifeguard Captain Adam Yasenda, and Captain Yasenda has been with the Newport Beach Lifeguard Department since 1995, and he is our recipient this year of our Lifeguard Supervisor of the Year. So Adam, I've known you for a long time, you've been a good friend. This has to mean a lot to you to be selected by your peers as the Newport Beach, essentially, Lifeguard of the Year this year.
It's incredibly meaningful to me and very hard to put into words. I love the job, the department, the community that we work in, and it was a long journey to turn my love of lifeguarding into a career, and this is just the icing of the cake.
Adam, I know you've made literally thousands of rescues in your lifeguarding career, and to be recognized tonight is so well deserved. Congratulations. I'm really, really happy for you and proud of you, and congrats on everything.
Thank you, Matt.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. I am here with Newport Beach lifeguard Carly Christian, and Carly is our seasonal lifeguard of the year. Carly's been a longtime Newport Beach lifeguard and a Newport Beach junior lifeguard, and Carly, this has to be a really special night to be recognized by all of your peers here. 240 seasonal lifeguards. You are the one that is the seasonal lifeguard of the year. What do you have to say about that?
It's an absolute honor, that's for sure. To be able to represent the city of Newport Beach lifeguards in such a high way is completely amazing. I definitely couldn't have done it without any of my coworkers. And me being 5 years in, this has been 5 years since Ben's passing, and I owe a lot to him. He was my junior lifeguard instructor when I was an A, so when I was about 14 years old. And he was the one that pretty much was like, you're going to be a lifeguard one day. And I owe a lot to him. And so I'm just super thankful to be a part of this community and to be here tonight.
Well, congratulations, Carly. And Carly is referring to Newport Beach lifeguard Ben Carlson, who tragically passed in the line of duty 5 years ago today. And we are all grateful that the Newport Beach community has never forgotten his ultimate sacrifice in really representing Newport Beach lifeguards in the best possible way. So congratulations on this award tonight.
Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to the 22nd Annual Newport Beach Chamber of Commerce Fire and Lifeguard Dinner. I'm Steve Rosansky, President and CEO of the Newport Beach Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all for coming. What a good-looking group out there. So on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce, we're honored to have the privilege to organize and host this event. Honoring the heroes of our community dovetails with our mission to promote the economic opportunity through business and community leadership, and to enhance the social and civic environment of Newport Beach. Once again this year, the Newport Beach Marriott Hotel and Spa has rolled out the red carpet. Yeah, how about a big round of applause for the Marriott? And Debbie Snavely, we're gonna mention that name a few times tonight. Where's Debbie? Where'd she go? There she is. Wave, Debbie. Thank you. Tonight, we get the chance to express our gratitude and pride in our fire and lifeguard first responders by welcoming so many of these professionals to join us here this evening. Undoubtedly, their efforts contribute to the safety and security we enjoy as business owners and residents in Newport Beach. In addition to the hospitality and dinner this evening, we'll be recognizing 4 very important individuals. Is it Civilian of the Year? Civilian of the Year, okay, I thought it was a typo. Lifeguard Supervisor of the Year, Seasonal Lifeguard of the Year, and Firefighter of the Year. We'll also be presenting some merit awards for special incidents throughout the past year. As a side note, I just want to mention, some of you noticed I'm wearing a little pin tonight, which I earned this Saturday at the Fire Ops 101 program that the fire department puts on. Yeah, big round of applause. There's a few of my co-participants here. Gary Sherwin. Gary, you participated. Simone, he participated. Mary Losi. So we all participated in this program, and it really gave, I think, all of us a newfound respect for what the firefighters do. They had us running into smoke-filled buildings and dragging out bodies. I put out a fire and almost caught myself on fire until Chief Boyles pulled me out of the way. We opened up car doors with jaws of life and shears and stuff. So it's totally cool, definitely worth the experience. And we did it all with like 60 pounds of gear on with a tank and everything. So thank you for that experience. And as I said, newfound appreciation for what you guys do every day. But before we head to dinner, we need to recognize the generous effort put forth by many of our partners and valued chamber members to make this evening special. With their support, we're able to provide complimentary attendance to this dinner for 60 fire and lifeguard personnel. So first off, we have 3 very special presenting sponsors this evening. Wells Fargo Bank, thank you. Wells Fargo Bank. Visit Newport Beach and its president and king of hospitality, Gary Sherwin. Where's the king of hospitality? Wave. Forgot your crown tonight. What's up with that? Okay. And the Newport Beach Marriott Hotel and Spa and its general manager and the current Newport Beach Citizen of the Year, Debbie Snavely. I'd also like to thank my table mates and our awards and media sponsor, Caliber Collision. Caliber Collision. Or actually, I'm sitting over here. A shout out to Hornblower Cruises and Events for providing the photographer this evening. Yeah. Thank you, Chandler Bell, for arranging that. Don't forget to pick up your picture. It'll be waiting for you on the way out. So, because otherwise we have to deliver it, and I don't want to do that. And lastly, I want to thank the individuals and organizations and businesses listed in your program that have supported the department by sponsoring tables tonight. I think we have 32 tables here, and I believe just about every one of them is a sponsored table. So big round of applause for all of our table sponsors. I also want to give special recognition to the assistant to the fire chief, Erica Rivera. She's the one who wrestled all these firefighters and family members and worked with our staff to make this night happen. Thank you, Erica. So you may have noticed a bunch of people wearing red ties or scarves that match these ties and crests. These are the Chamber Commodores, a special group of Chamber members who provide leadership for many of the events the Chamber hosts and organizes. Thank you to all the Commodores for their involvement in our community throughout the year. And I want to give a very special thanks to Commodore DJ Martin over here, the walrus mustache, DJ. He's from Connell Chevrolet. He served as our event chairman. And this year he recruited Sheldon Singleton. Commodore Sheldon Singleton, where are you? Sheldon, wave. Right over there. So Sheldon's kind of like, he's Don Quixote and he's Sancho Panza, and pretty soon he's going to ascend to the throne. So thank you both. The two of them assisted with everything from sponsorships to table sales. And don't be surprised, because I know DJ is notorious for this. He's going to hit you up for a table sponsorship tonight for next year. So that's how we managed to sell 32 tables. So okay, if all the Commodores would please stand and be recognized. All the Commodores. All the Commodores. Very good. Thank you. In addition to the over 680 business members of the Chamber, our organization's efforts are supported throughout the year by a special group of companies we call our Leadership Circle. Many of these representatives are here with us this evening, and a full list of the Leadership Circle members is printed on the back of your programs. But I do want to quickly call out and recognize our platinum level and gold level members. So first off, Hoag Hospital, Platinum Hoag Hospital. They're here tonight with the table. Newport Beach and Company and King of Hospitality, Gary Sherwin's here with a table. The Balboa Bay Resort, they're here somewhere. The Newport Beach Marriott Hotel and Spa, Debbie Snavely, Citizen of the Year. Debbie's giving me the stink eye. ACI Jet, new sponsor this year, thank you. Yeah. And also City of Hope is our newest platinum level Leadership Circle member. Thank you, City of Hope. At our gold level is Picoco LLC, the Newport Beach Police Association, West Coast Arborists, and Wells Fargo Bank. Thank you all for participating this evening. So we're getting there. So first off, I want to make sure that you know that Mayor Diane Dixon is here tonight. Diane? She had a full day. She started at like 7 o'clock this morning, and she'll be done about 9 o'clock tonight. So she's a hardworking mayor. Mayor Pro Tem Will O'Neill's with us. We actually have the entire council here tonight. So Duffy Duffield, Kevin Muldoon, Jeff Herdman, and Brad Avery, and Joy Brenner, council members. Thank you all for coming. Our city manager, Grace Leung, is here somewhere. There she is back there. Assistant city manager, Carol Jacobs. City attorney, Aaron Harp. City clerk, Leilani Brown. Of course, our fire chief, Jeff Boyles. Our past fire chief, Chip Duncan. You wouldn't recognize him, though. He's got all this beard, mustache. I didn't even recognize him in the parking lot. I walked right past him. Police chief, John Lewis. Community Development Director, Simone Georges. Human Resources Director, Barbara Salvini. Harbor Commissioner, Paul Blank. Library Trustee, Paul Watkins. Finance Committee Member, Joe Stapleton. We got yay, Joe. It's the Joe fan club. Civil Service Board members, Jane Delagrata, Sharon Wood, Mike Talbot, and my sister Robin Grant might have been here earlier, but I know she had to get to something else. So thank you, Civil Service Board, for coming. Our Chamber of Commerce Board Chair is up in the Bay Area tonight, but we do have our Vice Chair, Deborah Vanderweide. Deborah. Newport Beach Library Foundation Board Chair, oh, she couldn't make it, but Kathy Voorhees, did I get it right, Dorothy? President of the Newport Beach Firefighters Association, Bobby Salerno. Bobby. President of the Newport Beach Lifeguard Management Association, Gary Conwell. Yeah. Vice President of the Association of Newport Beach Ocean Lifeguards, Peter Belden. Also owner of the board club and a chamber member. Thank you, Peter. And President of the Newport Beach Police Association, Alex Maslin. We did it. Okay, so as we prepare to head for dinner, I do want to ask Commodore and my Sancho Panza, Chamber staff member Jeff Parker, to come to the stage with an invocation. Take it away, Jeff.
If you would join me in a moment of prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening in this rose garden setting, offering our gratitude. Father, we thank you for those that have answered the call to be protectors of our community. What terrifies most emboldens them to serve their fellow mankind. Tonight, we are grateful for their courage and fortitude. We are thankful for the hard work they dedicate to the safety of others and the sacrifices they and their families make as they fight for our safety. Forgive us for taking for granted the sirens that sometimes surround us, for the fire engines we pull over for and then return to our daily routine right after they pass. Remind us to lift them up in prayer as they pass by. They and all those who serve our country abroad and at home require a strength that comes from beyond ourselves. Bravery in the face of fear requires a courage the average person cannot muster completely by their own accord. During the moments before they arrive on the scene of a fire or take to the water for a rescue, bring this reminder to their hearts. Help firefighters and lifeguards to trust in you when they are afraid. Give them courage in the midst of shock and destruction. Comfort their hearts as they witness what we do not see, and guard their hearts with your love and compassion. Keep them physically safe and strengthen their hearts and minds as they accomplish their tasks. And may they know without a shadow of a doubt that their community loves and respects them, not just as public servants, but for their serving as role models too, as fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, sons and daughters, and friends. As they face what we call the impossible, bless them to know their efforts are never in vain or forgotten. We are truly blessed. Newport Beach is only what it is because of people like those here tonight. Help us share your love of them by our honoring of them. Amen.
Thank you, Jeff. Great words. If I can now invite Commodore DJ Martin up to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise, face the flag.
Flag's right behind me. Please place your hand over your heart and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I don't need a microphone.
No, you don't. He definitely doesn't. Thank you, Commodore DJ Martin. So now it's time for dinner. Again, a very special thanks to Debbie Snavely and the general manager of the Newport Beach Marriott Hotel and Spa for her staff for making this event a success from start to finish. You'll see the incredible menu her team has prepared for us tonight. Everybody enjoy dinner? Yeah, what about those? Did you get the Balboa bars yet? I see them coming out. Something's coming out. How about a big round of applause for the staff here at the Marriott Hotel? Thank you. Okay, so before we start with the awards ceremony, I'd like for all the Newport Beach Fire and Lifeguard personnel to please stand for a round of applause. All the fire and lifeguard personnel. Even if you're retired fire and lifeguard personnel. How about the family members of the fire and lifeguard personnel? Why don't you stand with your people? Yeah, be recognized. Tonight's a well-deserved celebration in your honor. Thank you. Okay, so I hope she's back in the room. Yes, she is. I see her right over there. I'd like to now invite our Newport Beach Mayor, Diane Dixon, to the podium. It is a great way.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is a terrific way to end all of our days to be at this fantastic event. I've been coming to these dinners now for 5 or 6 years, and even though it's written in my remarks to thank the Newport Beach Chamber, it's a pleasure to, because twice a year, at least, I mean, there's special events. I know the Christmas parade and the sandcastle contest, but it's the Chamber honoring our public safety officers, and that's our police officers, our Newport Beach police officers, and now our fire and lifeguard. And let's give the Chamber a round of applause. These two events that we all love to come to, the police breakfast is in March, and this is in, September, and they're sold out. Yep. Why is it in our community that the community sells out our events to honor our police and our fire and lifeguards? I mean, it's not a secret. It's because we truly appreciate them, right? So it's an honor for me to officially welcome everyone here on behalf of the Newport Beach City Council. It's a beautiful night. Usually it always is a beautiful night and a full moon. And I want to recognize the families too, because they give the sacrifice and give up the hours with their family members who are their service members. So thank you all to the families. As we know, the Newport Beach Fire Department provides excellent service to our community. It's more than excellent, it's just stupendous service to our community. But as a resident of our city's coastal zone, and my district won the Balboa Peninsula and the ocean and harbor facing district, I have the distinct opportunity to see our fire and lifeguard staff interacting with and serving our residents on a daily basis. To our residents, our businesses, and some of the 10 million visitors who come to enjoy our beaches. I think it was the last council meeting, I announced and complimented our lifeguard services, Mike Helfheid, and his team for taking care of 4 million visitors to our beaches in June, July, and August. So thank you again, lifeguards. Our firefighters and paramedics respond to more than 14,000 911 calls for service each year. And putting this in perspective, I'm sure all of you realize we are a city of about 87,000 people, but our public safety personnel are serving 10 million people a year, over and above the wonderful service they give all of our residents and business owners. So we place great demands on our public safety personnel and our fire and lifeguards here tonight that we're honoring. We just want you to know how appreciative we are. Our lifeguards rescue over 4,000 people each year, and our fire prevention division conducts more than 4,000 annual inspections to keep our residents and visitors safe in all of our buildings. So these breakfasts and dinners where we honor our public safety, we clap a lot because we can't, that's all we can do is just keep thanking you for all you do. We admire your unceasing professionalism and commitment to service, no matter how busy and stressful your days may be. You always have a smile, you're eager to talk. Our residents know our firefighters, our lifeguards, and our police officers by name. And that is a tremendous service that all of you give to our community. I want to thank each of you and those that are currently on duty couldn't join us tonight for the important work you accomplish 24/7, 365 days of the year. I want to also recognize, because I won't be saying this again tonight, that it's Carly, Adam, Raymond, and Bobby. Where's Bobby? Where's Bobby? I didn't say hi to Bobby tonight, wherever he is. Congratulations to all of you. And finally, again, tonight's event wouldn't be possible without the generous support of the Newport Beach Chamber, the Commodores, everyone here with their red ties. I'm glad to see you got scarves for the women. We did. Yeah, I thought that was really good. And the efforts of Steve Rosansky, Jeff Parker, and the Newport Beach Chamber. And thank you for honoring all of us, for the men and women of the Newport Beach Fire Department. And thank you, where's Deb Snavely? She's still working with her red scarf. Thank you, Deb. That was a wonderful dinner. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's always the Marriott, always is the best. So thank you, and we again thank you for your service and your sacrifice. We are grateful. On behalf of the City Council of Newport Beach, we love you all. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Dixon. Okay, so now it's time for the awards, and it's my pleasure to introduce our new fire chief, Jeff Boyles. So come on up, Jeff. I'm going to read a few words about you. For those who, I know you've been making the rounds a little bit, but not everybody has heard the stump speech, so I'll be your surrogate tonight. Chief Jeff Boyles began his fire service career with the San Bernardino County as a firefighter paramedic in 1994. In February 2000, he was hired by the City of Newport Beach as a firefighter for the Newport Beach Fire Department and has since held the positions of paramedic, captain, battalion chief, and assistant chief. He's also held the assignments as an arson investigator and a training chief. Boyles currently serves as the vice president for Speak Up Newport and a board member for Leadership Tomorrow and the Newport Beach Marine One Foundation, which I serve on with him. I think next year we'll probably add Commodore to that too, but we'll wait for next year. Do you look good in a red tie?
I lost out to Sheldon.
I know, yeah. Not Sheldon, it was someone else actually, it wasn't Sheldon. But we'll get you in there, don't worry. He earned a Master of Public Administration and a Bachelor of Science in Political Science and Public Administration from the California State University at Long Beach. Please welcome Fire Chief Jeff Boyles.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Jeff Boyles, like Steve just said. I'm the new fire chief. I've took over for former fire chief Chip Duncan, who's over here to my left in the audience. I'd like to recognize Chip for his 32 years of service. I took over 2 months ago, and this is the second time in less than a week that I've had to follow Steve Rosansky in a speech. And I was a little worried about that. I was sitting there listening to him, and he talked about his Fire Ops 101. And there's a lot of members in the audience, Gary Sherwin, I see Joe, Will, people that have been through that. I could tell a little quick story on Steve. He was training for that. He was walking stairs so that he could climb our aerial ladder because he didn't want to be outdone by all those that had gone before him. But what he didn't train for was the fact that when the fire started coming at him, he stood there so long that it started to hit his face. And I was waiting for your face to melt before I pulled him back. So that was a true story that he was saying right there.
Hey, I'm like a firefighter. I run to the fire, not away from it.
He did. So with that, I would like to welcome all of you tonight for joining us. We're extremely fortunate to be hosted by the Newport Beach Marriott Hotel and Spa again, and we're going for an even 12 thank yous to Debbie Snavely again and her wonderful staff. So all of us would be remiss, Debbie, if we didn't get up here and thank you. This whole night is due to Debbie. It's the 22nd anniversary of this event, so many of us have been coming to most of these. Special thanks to Commodore's Club Committee, headed by DJ. Where are you? DJ Martin's over here as well. DJ went that way. Okay. Gary Sherwin, Newport Beach and Company, our Wells Fargo table, and our Caliber Collision table, and everybody else that did get a table. I think Steve mentioned that it sold out months ago, so it's really impressive. But I would like to, well, I don't have much time. I've been told to keep this short, so I'm going to try and keep it short. in the fire and lifeguard disciplines and public safety in general, I don't think we really get together and recognize the things that we do very often. So going off script here, I'll say that our lifeguards make over 4,000 rescues a year, actual rescues in the water, in the ocean, like Diane was just saying. Our firefighters respond over 14,000 calls a year. So trying to distill that down to one firefighter of the year, one lifeguard of the year, or a half a dozen, or I think we ended up with 10 letters of commendation, is tough to do. So we take those calls and we take a look at them and we try and do a kind of a cross section of what it is that we're doing out there. So that's what you're going to hear tonight. Operating under our principles of safety, service, professionalism. And one of the things that I've been talking to our entire department, admin, fire prevention, lifeguards, and fire operations about is the platinum level of service. And that's a spin-off of the golden rule, of the old rule that you learned when you're 5 years old: treat others the way you want to be treated. Well, here in Newport Beach, we're striving to treat others the way they want to be treated. That's the platinum rule. So that's something that we take serious, and you'll hear that in some of our awards tonight. But I think what's really important is to keep in mind, as you hear these coming out, that here in Newport Beach for the last 3 years, according to the county statistics, the Newport Beach Fire Department, and we're talking, when I say fire, that's the lifeguards and fire, we have the highest cardiac revival rate in the county, which far exceeds the state and the nation as well. And I'll say that the last 3 years, because we think, and Division Chief Kristen Thompson over there that gives me the statistics, we think those are the only 3 years that the county has actually been keeping those statistics. So that's actually, keep that in mind as you understand what our folks are doing with our response times, our training, our personnel, but more importantly, it ties in our CERT team and how they interact with the community, and we teach bystander CPR. Our community is doing bystander CPR at a rate, we're getting statistics back, when we show up on calls, our community is doing bystander CPR before we arrive at a rate that's higher than the state and national average as well. So that's a testament to the community, it's a testament to our CERT, it's a testament to our response times, our personnel, our equipment, our training, our support from the council, from the community, all that rolled into one. So even though I don't have a lot of time, I did want to throw that out there so you can tie it in with what you're hearing tonight. But without further ado, I want to bring up Michelle Gile. Where's Michelle? Okay. Michelle is our other MC tonight. She joined KCAL News in 1990 as an Orange County reporter, and she's loved it ever since. Many of you have seen her. She now reports from the field for both KCAL 9 and CBS 2. Michelle attended UCLA, and I remember Chief Duncan saying this last year. She transferred her junior year to USC, and I'm not sure who does that or why, but she did. Me either. No idea. House divided. And she joined the Broadcast Journalism School. Upon graduation, Michelle landed her first job as a reporter in Palm Springs, which I just learned tonight. She shared not the same apartment, but the same apartment building as Gary Sherwin when they were both out in Palm Springs at the same time. From there, she was off to Santa Barbara and on to CNN for further responding assignments. Michelle's busy career has included stories from the Laguna Beach fires, the LA riots, and the abduction of Samantha Runyon, and many other important news events. Michelle's received many prestigious honors, including 2 Emmy Awards, a Golden Mike, and the National Clarion Award for the Best Television Spot News Story. So with that, please welcome Michelle Gile.
First up, I want to apologize. Someone just flipped open the program. Actually, it was you, sir, the photographer. And I realized I'm wearing the exact same dress tonight as I am in the program. That's my headshot from KCAL KCBS. And I only wore this because of, fire lifeguard. I had to be in red. It's been, I was air drying it in the backyard today and said to my husband, please have it ready when I race home. Anyway, full disclosure. Secondly, I want to tell the Marriott, I absolutely feel like we're on vacation here, and I'm hoping we all get to go up into one of those rooms after the event, right? Wouldn't that be fun? We could all spend the night, wake up fresh. Okay. Sold out. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very, very honored to be your MC tonight, with our new fire chief, of course. And for those of you who know me well, you know that I live right across the golf course in Irvine Terrace, and I have benefited from fire services here in Newport, and my kids were junior guards. I absolutely love the programs, and am happy to say that I don't spend too much time. Chief Lewis knows I spend some PD time in town reporting on some of the big stories, but I don't have a lot of fire stories to tell, or really lifeguard stories, unless it's the Monster Mile or something. So I'm usually bothering chiefs in other cities. So I know that you guys are probably happy not to see me too much here. But I am very, very happy and honored to be invited back. I am your hometown news girl, so I always like to share the happy times with you. And my drive home is just 2 minutes tonight. So I will be back, every year if you'll have me. Each year, and you have heard this, the Commodores Club through the Chamber of Commerce honors outstanding individuals within the fire department. We celebrate the seasonal lifeguard, the lifeguard supervisor, firefighter of the year, and the civilian of the year. Each of the honorees is carefully selected by their respective labor association, and in a few minutes, I will have the honor of presenting those awards to you. But first, we are going to begin with the Department Recognition Awards, and this year, Fire Chief Jeff Boyles will be presenting these personally, so I'm going to turn the podium back to the Chief. I'll be stage left for a little bit, and another round of applause, of course, for the Marriott and our fabulous Chamber of Commerce for putting this on tonight.
Okay, one more thing I just thought of. Where's our Hogue table? I thought you guys were right over here, 28. So one more fun fact, you are 3 times more likely to get your heart rate back in the city of Newport Beach if you have a heart attack than anywhere else in Orange County. And you're 2 times more likely to walk out of Hogue Hospital fully functioning with no deficits after we bring a cardiac victim to Hogue. So there's our relationship with Hogue. Once again, thank you to Chris and Thompson for those statistics. Okay, so here's how tonight's gonna go. In the interest of time, I will call you up and I'll start talking about you as you're making your way forward. So I would like to start this first story with Shirley O'Borney and City Attorney Aaron Harp. And so down in the Friends Library room of our new Friends Library, the room of our new library, I should say, and I got my tongue twisted there, they were having a meeting, a community meeting, and a gentleman was experiencing a cardiac issue, which eventually became unconscious. And Shirley had the wherewithal to go and ask and find an AED, which is in the library. So I don't think Shirley knew exactly at the time where it was, but she actually knew to ask and go find it and go grab it. Meanwhile, Aaron started CPR on the gentleman along with another bystander. So as somebody else called 911, Shirley brings the AED back to Aaron, and Aaron opens it up, applies it, takes the person's shirt off, puts the pads on, turns it on, figures out how to use it. You know, as an attorney, you can figure out a lot of things. So he shocks the guy and starts CPR with the bystander until some other people from City Hall showed up, from the fire department, and then a police officer showed up, and we started taking over CPR, and then the paramedics arrived and packaged the guy up. They intubate him, they start an IV, they do all their thing, they take him to Hogue Hospital, and he survived. So I don't know if there's a lot of attorneys out there. You can take your attorney shots and jokes if you will, but Aaron Harp is a lifesaver. So with that, Shirley, we're going to present you with a letter of commendation for your wherewithal and quick thinking to go grab the AED for Aaron to use. And Aaron is presented with the Meritorious Award, which is a pretty special award for a civilian that works for the city that does something above and beyond the call of duty. So thank you, Aaron. Aaron asked not to give a speech tonight, so we're going to let him off the hook. Our next one is Fire Captain Matt Ambrose. And as Matt comes up, so Matt is receiving an award for going above and beyond. Newport Engine 62, Newport Truck 62, Newport Medic 62 responded to an unconscious male in cardiac arrest. Fire department crews took over. You really walk up here with your radio on like that?
Walk fast, he's got on going to call.
Fire department crews took over CPR efforts, loaded the patient into Medic 62, and transported the patient over to Hoag Hospital, where they transferred the patient to the emergency room staff. It's a traumatic time, obviously, for the family anytime that somebody in their family is in cardiac arrest, but our crews strive to be polite, compassionate, and respectful. But Matt took it to the next level the following day, coming off duty. Matt did a follow-up visit to the hospital and visited with the family to offer his condolences. It's an unexpected gesture and an act that's beyond the expectation of the fire department and shows our commitment to providing platinum customer service. So Matt is one of our peer supporters and has asked to join on and start up a chaplain program as well. So with that, I want to give Matt a letter of commendation to just express our gratitude for how he does go above and beyond for expressing his empathy for patients. Okay, paramedic Andy Janis is out there. While Andy comes up, on November 24th, 2018, Andy was working on Newport Engine 68, which is out in Newport Coast area. He responded to a hiker off of Bomber Ridge who was suffering from chest pain. Paramedic Janis placed the patient on the cardiac monitor and quickly recognized that he's having a heart attack. Due to the time lost searching for the patient and the distance location from the roadway, a helicopter was requested for transport of the patient. So sometimes it takes us a while when you go out and ride your bike or go off-road to locate where the patient actually is. So it could take 20, 30 minutes sometimes just trying to figure out what trail they're on. So by the time Andy reached him, hooked him up to the cardiac monitor, he recognized the signs and symptoms and the EKG that this guy was actually having a real issue. So we called the helicopter, or he called the helicopter, and paramedic Janis flew with the patient in the helicopter, continuing his ALS treatment en route. At the hospital, the patient's critical status was confirmed to have been a life-threatening atrial blockage in his heart. Without paramedic Janis's professionalism and focus on the patient could have lost his life. Instead, he made a full recovery, and with that, we want to give Andy a letter of commendation to recognize his acuity to his profession and above and beyond duty. Okay, where is lifeguard Cole Othmer? Cole, you're out here. Okay, Cole is not here, so I'll run through what Cole was doing because this is a pretty interesting call too. On Saturday, April 20th, 2019, Cole was off duty. He's a Newport Beach lifeguard. Saw a 16-year-old female who jumped off the PCH bridge into the Santa Ana River. Cole looked over the railing of the bridge and saw the girl screaming for help. The girl jumped into about 5 feet of water, fractured her ankle, and she was unable to swim. So Cole had a bystander call CPR and responded to the rescue without any of his lifeguard equipment. Cole pulled the girl out of the water, started patient care until lifeguards and fire units arrived on scene, and for his actions off duty and with no equipment and no radio and utilizing a bystander, we're recognizing Cole with another letter of commendation, but I guess he isn't here tonight. So we'll just give him a round of applause anyway. Okay, I'd like to call the following individuals up here. So there's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. So hold your applause for a second. Paramedic Dean Rush, Brian Mankin, Brandon Kent, Ed Wick, Kevin Gonzalez, Jason Fernandez, Charlie Keene, and Dan Chapman. If you guys are here, make your way up. The 65-year-old was pulled from the surf in cardiac arrest in front of the Beachcomber restaurant. CPR was started by state lifeguards and an AED fired twice. The patient was in VFib, which is ventricular fibrillation, a life-threatening cardiac rhythm, and defibrillated by medics Rush and Mankin. They placed an IV, they gave rounds of epinephrine, they gave rounds of amiodarone. Basically, they started an IV, they gave medication, they intubated, they shocked them. Total of 4 shocks, 5 rounds of medications, and pulses were finally returned and were sustained prior to arrival at Hoag, patient opening their eyes. So if you think about that all the way down at the Beachcomber in Crystal Cove, the amount of work that they had to do from having to start IVs and intubate and give medications and start CPR and shock, everything that went into what you would see in an emergency room to get their pulses back and get them all the way from the sand to Hoag. The crowd was pretty impressed too, from what I understand. About 1,000 people were there watching this play out on a Saturday afternoon. And through the teamwork skills provided, paramedics Rush and Mankin perform outstanding ALS skills in a complex situation. Captain Dan Chapman right here. Firefighters Kent and Hernandez performed scene control, assisted airway management, and patient movement, and vitals were an integral part of the save. What do we have for them?
Dan Chapman.
Because it doesn't say on here, so what are we going to call this one? Is this a life-saving award? A unit citation, okay. This is a unit citation when they're all working together as a unit. So for that, I'll get Dan and Kevin for now. We'll get the rest later. Okay, so we have another 5 individuals. Let's see if you're out there. I know Adam is. Adam Novak, Ryan Bullock, I saw him too. Aaron Brown, I saw Aaron. Ray King and Lloyd Ellis. So these 5 all work down in the new, well, actually not the new Corona Del Mar station yet because we aren't in it, but they're out of the trailers out of the Oasis. Newport Engine 65, Newport Medic 65 saved a patient's life. This one's a good one. Not once, but twice, the same patient. On the first incident, the patient was found in a lethal cardiac rhythm, ventricular tachycardia, in acute status. The team quickly assessed and treated the patient and provided synchronized cardioversion, which is not an easy maneuver to do, a complex, painful procedure to convert a heart rhythm. They were successful. The patient needed all 5 crew members to get him down tight, winding stairs in what we call a carry-all. So it doesn't ever seem like anybody goes into cardiac arrest right here on the floor. They're always upstairs, so we have to carry him downstairs on top of it. Soon after getting him on a gurney and placed in the ambulance, he lost consciousness and a pulse. He was in another terminal cardiac rhythm. CPR was initiated again. ALS procedures were provided again. So ALS is advanced life support, so they start putting the tubes down your throat and starting the IVs and giving medications and all those sorts of things. Patient regained a pulse. 4 personnel were in the back of the ambulance providing patient care. Patient was discharged home without any disabilities after leaving Hoag. So there's your Hoag component. There's more. 12 days later, the same crew responded to the same patient. This time, the patient was found down a 200-foot hill in their backyard unconscious. Because of their knowledge of the patient's previous condition on the last call with him, they quickly assessed his status, including his heart rhythm, performed more paramedic ALS interventions, and they found him in the same lethal rhythm again, cardioverted him again, so they shocked him again. He regained consciousness, but it was in acute status. It was a complex extrication requiring 6 personnel to move him back up the hill. So this time they're doing CPR, they're shocking him, and they're trying to get him up a hill on an uneven surface. During the extrication, he again lost consciousness and regained or had required more shocking, so they shocked him some more. He was again converted back into a normal rhythm and regained consciousness. His IV was started, antiarrhythmic medications were given, and to our knowledge, he was discharged again from Hoag without any disabilities. This time, I think he's probably had some sort of cardiac.
Yeah, he did. But we see him around town all the time.
So he is alive and well. So I don't know how many times you can say you saved the saved person twice, but that is pretty impressive. So with that, we're going to give all 5 of these individuals another unit citation.
There's the picture. Okay, get in the middle there, Chief. In the middle? Squeeze in. Okay.
Yeah. Whoops, sorry. Okay, I'd like to call the following up. Chris Fonte, I didn't see him tonight. I think he's on duty. Chris, are you out there? Javier Gonzalez, Adam Davenport. I have a story on Adam here. And Nicky Roma. So while they work their way up, Adam's son is the one up here doing the Fred Astaire dancing. Gavin, you can come on up too, bud. Come be with your dad. On March 27, 2019, first arriving units on scene observed a working fire on the 4th floor of a local apartment complex here in town with a victim trapped on the balcony of the involved unit. We did find Nick. Okay, good. Newport Truck 63, which these guys are assigned to, was assigned to the rescue. They quickly placed ground ladders and deployed the aerial ladder. Firefighter Gonzalez, who couldn't be with us tonight, made contact with the patient from a ground ladder and reported the status of the victim while the aerial was being put into place to make the rescue. So this is a deal where we have a lot of apartment complexes in town. This was a 4-story apartment complex. We have a fire on one of the upper balconies. They used the big ladder truck aerial, and these guys, well, Adam drives it. Nick's the one that climbs it. So it's not every day that you actually get a real fire where you have to climb the aerial ladder like Steve and Gary did the other day and pull a patient out. So those things do go on, Michelle, believe it or not. They happen here in Newport Beach. They pull people out of fires, and sometimes you don't always hear about it, but they did it. So with that, we're going to give them the unit citation award. Okay, I think I have a few more. So if you're out there, this one has quite a few. Another unit citation: Chad Spiker, Lloyd Ellis again, Matt Anderson, Charlie Dahl, Jeff Stribling, Adam Novak again, Kelly Conti, I know she's here, Brett McAllister, Justin Keene, Aaron Brown, Chad Duncan, Nick Girakos, and Paul Cortez. I know we have several of you guys. On June 20th, 2019, approximately 2 o'clock in the morning, while most of us are sleeping soundly, Newport Beach Police and units from the Corona Del Mar, Fashion Island, and Lido fire stations, which we call stations 5, 3, and 2, responded to a severe traffic accident with a victim trapped in a vehicle. Engine 65 out of Corona Del Mar and Medic 65 arrived on scene and established command and began treatment of the critically injured patient. Truck 63 and Truck 62, so we have a ladder truck over in Lido and a ladder truck in Fashion Island, were tasked with extricating the patient from the vehicle while medical treatment was being rendered. Due to the extensive damage of the vehicle, 7 contingency plans were made, including attempting to gain access to the patient from multiple sides and requesting a helicopter to transport the patient if the extrication took too long. So all of you that have been through Fire Ops 101, and I know there's several, I look around, I see all kinds of faces. You remember the Jaws of Life exercise where we cut the car apart. So this is now what they're doing at 2 o'clock in the morning because these cars are pretty smashed up. So they're starting to cut the cars apart. They know that that process takes a little while, and all that time you're losing valuable time where they could be in an operating table, which is where they really need to be. So they order up a helicopter. Ultimately, the truck companies were able to make quick work of the crushed vehicle, remove the patient safely, and transported by Medic 65 to the nearest trauma center. Due to the quick response, excellent teamwork, and skills of these individuals, the patient is alive and making a recovery. And with that, we're going to give all of them another unit citation. All right. There we go. Can we get a picture? This is the part of the count.
one was fine. Yeah, scrunch up because there's a lot of you.
I'll hold these for those guys.
Okay.
Thanks. Oh, wow. Okay, let's go with Adam Yasenda, Rick Lazar, Phil Puhek, Brett McAllister again. Brett, come back up. Everett Farrer, Chad Duncan, Andy Hopper, Ryan Popovich, Clayton Cannon, Tyson Mangham, Ryan Callanan, Matt Nadelborg, Brendan Keys, and Carly Christian. There's Clayton. On June 30th, 2019, a 32-year-old male collapsed unconscious at the waterline at 58th Street on the beach. Lifeguards immediately assessed the patient, started CPR, placed an AED on the patient, gave 2 shocks, Medic 62, Engine 62, and Truck 62, that's why you see so many of them, arrived and assisted with patient care. Patient was defibrillated a total of 4 times. They started an IO, which is a needle in your shin, and you don't ever want that happening to you, but that's what it is. Multiple rounds of cardiac drugs were given. Patient was moved to the ambulance from the waterline. So it was in ventricular fibrillation the entire time and was in cardiac arrest upon arrival to Hoag. So that one actually lowered our statistics. We didn't bring the heart rate back. Apparently Hoag did for us. The patient ended up having a lethal, uncommon cardiac arrhythmia and having an internal defibrillator placed in, and he was stabilized at Hoag. But through the aggressive actions of the paramedics and all personnel throughout the entire call, the patient survived and was discharged home with no disabilities once again. That's pretty phenomenal to have an event like that on the sand and make it out of there with no disabilities. So that's a testament to the lifeguards who started care and all the paramedics. So with that, another unit citation. Another round of applause for those guys. Squeeze in. I'll get on the end. Okay. Good job, guys. A couple of them you're going to see again back up here in a few minutes. Okay, our last one is a life-saving award with Josh Leith. Josh, where's Josh? He's out there. There he is. Okay, so as Josh is coming up at 4:30 in the afternoon on March 28, 2019, off duty, Newport Beach lifeguard Josh Leith was running on the beach near 48th Street, near the rocks, when he noticed 3 swimmers in distress yelling for help. So he's off duty, taking a jog, still watching the water, because that's what he does. Josh swam out, rescued all 3 victims as they were going under the water. Josh didn't have his swim fins, he didn't have his buoys, he didn't have a radio, he wasn't on duty, so he didn't have any backup. So this put Josh at risk when the victims grabbed onto Josh for safety, which is pretty typical of people that are drowning. Josh had to use a breakaway method from the victims to prevent himself from being drowned himself when 3 people are grappling at you trying to take you underwater. He eventually got control of 2 of the victims, and the 3rd victim climbed up on the rocks. Josh and the victims were eventually swept around the rocks and made their way to the beach. Josh put himself in harm's way off duty that resulted in saving the lives of 3 people. For his action, Josh is being recognized with the Newport Beach Fire Department Life Saving Award. So this is a pretty special medal that we order for the Life Saving Award that he's admiring, and then he'll show you.
Thank you.
Okay, so here's how this is going to go. Mike Liberto, Steve Martin, Ray King, Joe Harrison, and Pete Garcia. I know Mike's here. I know Joe's here. I actually don't remember this call. So you know what I'm going to do? Mike, you're a captain. You could tell us what happened.
You're a brand new captain. I just got a field promotion. We have a brand new captain sitting right there, and they're going to make me do it. Anyway, we had a call for a 43-year-old female. I believe she was 43 years old. She was a employee that worked at the Marriott in Newport Coast. And she wasn't feeling well. We got a call for a sick person, which normally kind of brings it down a little bit. It's not a call for cardiac arrest or a rescue. So we got a little time to breathe. We get there, take a look at this woman, and we could tell right away that she was having an issue. She was clutching her chest. She was right outside of the elevator. We sat her in a chair. Ray King was working as paramedic that day. He's a fire captain, but he's working as a paramedic that day on my engine, on engine 68 in Newport Coast. So we put this young lady on the cardiac monitor, and she was in a lethal cardiac rhythm and still conscious for just a few seconds. And she quickly went down. Ray and the rest of us went to work. Ray put the pads on her so that we could get a quick shock, because that is a very short time frame when you see a lethal rhythm like that to be able to shock somebody and have them still be a viable patient. So we shocked her, and once or twice, shocked her twice, and she woke up. And that's about the long and short of that story. She lived. We continued to treat her. We took her to Hoag, and Hoag completed the definitive care, and she walked out of the hospital with no deficits. So here's the guy.
I do remember that it was a 43-year-old female, and that's one of the reasons we pulled that story, because it, at my age now, is starting to make me worry that I might be next. So with that, I do tell these guys every time you make captain or higher, you have to be able to speak at a moment's notice in front of the public. So that was very good extemporaneous, Mike. I appreciate that. And now I'm going to bring Michelle Geely back up, and we're going to go through our fire and lifeguard of the years.
I'm ready. Okay, thank you. Once again, a round of applause for all of our special department recognition awards. And now I would like to introduce to you the Fire and Lifeguard Employees of the Year. Please help me welcome our first honoree. It is Seasonal Lifeguard of the Year, Carly Christian. Carly Christian was born in Inglewood and raised in Newport Beach by her parents, Bridget and Hans, for the past 24 years with her brother, Miles. Carly started as a Newport Beach junior lifeguard. She was a D all the way up through the A group. She was an avid competitor on all of the competition days. She also attended the Junior Guard regional competitions every year. Carly played many sports as a child, but her love for the water made her pursue a career of water polo during her high school days and nights. Carly received a scholarship and continued her love for water polo at UC Santa Barbara. In July 2014, after her coach, Junior Guard instructor and mentor Ben Carlson lost his life in the line of duty, Carly was determined to try out and become a Newport Beach lifeguard beyond anything else. At the age of 19, she completed the Basic Lifeguard Academy and was hired that June. She worked her first summer in the Corona Del Mar division. Since then, Carly has worked 4 more summers in the West Newport division. She is truly advanced in her lifeguarding and life-saving skills and shines brightly as a mentor and leader in the division. all of this happening in just 5 short years. She promoted to unit operator at the beginning of last year. Carly continually pushes herself to be ready for action each and every day in all the seasons. In addition to working throughout the year, she's currently pursuing a degree in kinesiology, as well as completing all of the department required course certifications for lifeguard officer and captain. Her once dream of being a permanent lifeguard can now truly become a reality. Carly is very active at work and in her free time. She's racked up some personal accomplishments in the past few years, running the Honolulu Marathon. I mean, look at her. Why can't I look like that? As well as completing the Ben Did Go 3.0 and the 4.0. Bravo. I'm not done though. A quick 30-mile paddle from Catalina to Newport in the past 2 summers. She is the only female to compete and to complete this event. I have chills. We congratulate her on all of her accomplishments and being our seasonal lifeguard of the year for 2019. Congratulations to Carly Christian on being honored as Seasonal Lifeguard of the Year. You get the mic.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. I want to thank first and foremost my supervisors, my captains, officers that I work with, my battalion chiefs and chief. To represent Newport Beach lifeguards in such a high honor truly means a lot and means the world to me. You know, I've known what I've wanted to do since I was about 5 years old, and that's being a lifeguard. I want to thank my parents, biggest support that I have, my brother, Miles, and his fiance, my new soon-to-be sister-in-law, Nicole, and my grandma is here with me as well. Couldn't have done it without my family. I want to thank all my coworkers that I work with. I'm not the lifeguard that I am today without them. And of course, it's been 5 years since we lost Ben Carlson. He was a huge mentor of mine, and this is for him. So thank you guys. Thank you everyone that put on this event, and truly honored to be a Newport Beach lifeguard. Thank you.
And if anyone doubts this, will you turn around? As I'm standing back here, I'm seeing the tan lines on your back. I mean, there's a big white X. That's how much she's in a bathing suit.
Thank you.
Our next honoree is for Lifeguard Supervisor of the Year, and it is Adam Yasenda. Adam Yasenda first climbed into a lifeguard tower as a City of Newport Beach seasonal ocean lifeguard in 1995. It seemed like a perfect job for a teenage Eagle Scout that already spent his whole childhood swimming, playing water polo, participating in junior lifeguards, and spending whatever little free time he had left over at the beach. Little did Adam know that a part-time job to help pay for college would turn into a lifelong passion. While earning a degree from UCLA. That's right, UCLA. Adam worked his way quickly through the seasonal ranks, ultimately being assigned to the rescue boat division where he spent most of his seasonal career. Post-college, when not lifeguarding in Newport, Adam worked as I'm reading this, I'm like, are you kidding me? A scuba diver, a substitute teacher, an office temp, a longshoreman, a California State game warden, a lifeguard supervisor for another organization, and the head of a compliance department. As a result, the many summers of 7-day work weeks did much to reinforce the fact that there was really only one place that he wanted to be. When the chance to promote to a year-round position in Newport finally arrived, Adam jumped at the opportunity. Finding success in the endeavor, he worked his first summer as the lifeguard officer assigned to the junior lifeguard program. In less than a year, Adam then was promoted to lifeguard captain. He is currently assigned to supervise West Newport and is also part of the facility overseeing the CPR outreach program, as well as both seasonal and permanent lifeguard training. Adam, of course, lives in Newport Beach and is a fan of UCLA athletics and Angels baseball, which unfortunately of late has left him a lot more time to spend on his other interests. These include reading, the outdoors, camping, fishing, shooting, learning to play the banjo, and going on adventures with his Australian Shepherd, Tennessee. Round of applause, please, for Adam.
Those that selected me as Lifeguard Supervisor of the Year know me extremely well. Most of them have known me since I was a teenager. So they most certainly know two important things about me. The first being, I really don't like public speaking. And the second being, I really don't like being in the spotlight. So here I'm in spotlight, publicly speaking to all of you. And even though it's not so bad, I wonder if my beloved coworkers really wanted to reward me for whatever hard work it was I did this past year, or they just wanted to watch me squirm up here tonight. So since I have a tendency to squirm, unlike Carly, I've got a little thing written out here, and I'm gonna run with it. That said, it's hard to put into words what this award actually does mean to me. I love this community, this job, this department, and most importantly, the teammates I get to work with every day. At the very least, I am so appreciative of what I get to do for a living, and particularly the fact that I get to do it right here in Newport Beach. This award is just icing on the cake. Whatever the reasons were for anyone selecting me for this honor, wouldn't have mattered or even occurred to them if it hadn't been for the exemplary performance of the seasonal lifeguards I got to work with in our division. When they look good, I look good, right? People like Carly, who I could not be more proud and honored to share this stage with tonight, and other lifeguards out there among you that were recognized for their heroic actions this evening. All of our seasonal lifeguards, not just those assigned to my division, when at their best are both tireless and inspiring. They come from all walks of life and all ages. And it would be hard to find any one of them, even among our 16-year-old rookie lifeguards, that would let anything get in the way of their efforts to get the job done and save a life. Some people are quick to voice their concerns about our current younger generation and wonder about where things are headed. If that sounds like you, I'd suggest picking a tower in July and watching a lifeguard work for a day. When you see what our young men and women are not only capable of, but are actually doing while overcoming any challenge thrown their way, you will feel a lot better about our future. We might actually be okay. So if there's anything I'm taking personally about this award, it's the desire to live up to the words engraved on the plaque, Lifeguard Supervisor of the Year. Keyword being year. I promise to work a little extra hard for one more year until the next person selected as Supervisor Year. Just kidding. The success of our department depends on the support we give our seasonal lifeguards, and I'm more motivated than ever before to make sure I'm doing my part to give it to them. This recognition has given me a lot to think about, and I'm so honored. Thank you so much for putting this on. Thank you for having me, and I hope you're all having fun tonight. Thanks again.
Our next honoree for this evening is our Civilian of the Year. Please help me welcome Ramey 1. Ramey 1 has been a life safety specialist for the City of Newport Beach Fire Department, Fire Prevention Division for the last 7 years. Currently, Ramey proactively manages the 3 vegetation maintenance programs, which help mitigate the risk and reduce the threat from a wildfire. These 3 programs include weed abatement, there are 82 parcels, hazard reduction, 180 parcels, and fuel modification, which include 24 homeowners associations with a total of 314 parcels. Or acres, excuse me. Ramey also conducts approximately 160 annual inspections in high hazard occupancies, which includes 38 high-rise buildings. Ramey quickly became a certified instructor for our Community Emergency Response Team, known as CERT, and he continuously assists in the spring and fall CERT classes each year. Prior to starting at the Newport Beach Fire Department, Ramey worked for the Orange City Fire Department for 7 years as a life safety specialist. He conducted inspections on vegetation maintenance, new construction, special events, and annual fire code inspections. In 2011, Ramey was promoted to a hazardous materials specialist, where he conducted inspections at various occupancies that use hazardous materials to verify compliance with the adopted codes and standards. Ramey also managed the underground storage tank program, hazardous material business emergency plans, and hazardous material disclosure program. In addition, Ramey was also assisted fire operations in hazardous waste cleanup, which involved emergency response, chemical profiling, the proper shipping documentation, and signing of the manifest to verify cradle-to-grave tracking. Before Ramey's fire prevention career, he enlisted in the United States Coast Guard. In 1997, he completed boot camp in Cape May, New Jersey. Ramey attended Quartermaster A School in Yorktown, Virginia. Here he learned to navigate large ships, plot with celestial navigation, send and receive messages in Morse code, flashing light, and semaphore. Ramey also became a certified boarding officer, where he conducted law enforcement on the high seas, usually on foreign flag vessels for drug interdiction, fishery regulation, and human trafficking. Prior to Ramey receiving an honorable discharge in 2002, he was stationed right here on the Coast Guard cutter Narwhal, which is in Corona del Mar. Ramey is married to his beautiful wife, Alicia, of 14 years. He has 2 amazing children, Miley and Keone. Ramey is attending Coastline Community College to complete his educational goals. He also has a strong passion for surfing, for fishing, and playing guitar, and he wants to learn the ukulele. So it sounds like maybe you guys could form a band between fire and lifeguard. So Ramey, hands up. Congratulations, and we want to give you the mic too.
Thank you and good evening. First, I want to thank the Newport Beach Chamber of Commerce for hosting this event. It's always a pleasure to work with Steve Rosansky and Jeff Parker with all of their wonderful events throughout the year. Second, I want to thank our elected officials, the Newport Beach City Council, both past and present, for your continued support of the Newport Beach Fire Department. Third, I want to thank our chief, Jeff Boyles, and the fire administration team. The support you provide is crucial, and your role is very important to fire prevention. Next, I want to thank the fire prevention team, Fire Marshal Kevin Bass, Life Safety Specialists Nadine Morris, Susan Guzetta, Matt Brisboy, and James Gillespie. I use the word team because it is necessary that we work together to accomplish the mission of the Newport Beach Fire Department. I'm honored to be here and to be recognized by my coworkers to receive this award. As most of you know, being in public safety includes having to work a lot of hours, both weekends and nights, and it can be tough. And our spouses and our families really sacrifice a lot, which has been said before earlier this evening. So lastly, I'd like to thank my family, my 2 kids, Miley and Keone. I think they're looking down on me right now at the pool. And most importantly, my wife, Alicia. Thank you so much for your support and your love. Thank you.
And our final honoree for this evening is our Firefighter of the Year. Please help me welcome Bobby Salerno. Bobby Salerno has been a member of the Newport Beach Fire Department for 17 years and has served as president of the Newport Beach Fire Association for the past 5 years. He began his fire career as an Orange City Fire Explorer as a junior. He was a junior then at Mater Dei High School. After graduation, he then attended Santa Ana College, where he completed the Fire Technology program. He was accepted into the Fire Academy and graduated on his 21st birthday, then moving on to serve as a reserve firefighter for the Santa Ana Fire Department for 2 years. He tested for firefighter positions throughout Southern California and then eventually went on to work for Medics Ambulance in Mission Viejo. In May of 2003, Bobby received an offer from the Newport Beach Fire Department, which he proudly accepted. His fire career has been both challenging and rewarding through the years, but ultimately his passion for advocacy and improving the lives of our firefighters and their families led him to his appointment in 2014 as the president of the Newport Beach Fire Association. This key role has afforded him the opportunity to represent his fellow firefighters and protect their interests while cultivating thoughtful relationships with city leadership and fire management. His affiliations with the International Association of Firefighters Union and the California Professional Firefighters Organization have further strengthened his resolve to serve the needs of the membership nationally as well as locally. Bobby has been a committed firefighter and tireless association leader. He is professional and has an exceptional work ethic. We have watched him grow in his union role, advocating for his fellow firefighters and always listening to the needs of our dedicated men and women. He's been married to his wife, Laura, for 10 years, and they have an 8-year-old daughter named Sammy, who is extremely proud of her daddy's award. We all agree that Bobby is a tremendous asset to our department. He has the respect of his peers and truly deserves to be our 2019 Firefighter of the Year. Bobby Salerno.
To stand up here and receive this award is very humbling. All of our firefighters are equally deserving of this award, but I do appreciate the recognition and will continue to proudly serve alongside the men and women in our department who work hard every day to keep our citizens safe. I'm very grateful to have an opportunity to contribute to such an important dialogue every day and serve with people who have become such great mentors and friends. Our jobs are challenging, but our purpose is clear for our family and our community. To the membership, as your association president, I appreciate your trust and for letting me be a part of your personal and professional journeys. Tonight, I would also like to thank the Newport Beach Chamber of Commerce, the City of Newport Beach for your leadership and support. And I want to say thank you to my incredibly supportive family and to all my colleagues who voted for me. You all inspire me to be a better person and firefighter. Thank you.
Okay, I think this is when I hang up my microphone. I have 3 requests before we leave, Chief. Can we please have the 4 winners make their way to the stage? The ones that I have announced this evening. Thank you. Before I leave, Balboa Bar is number 1, Newport Beach Fire hat number 2. I'll take a Newport Beach PD hat and a Newport Beach Lifeguard hat because I need to protect my skin. I want to thank you once again for having me and congratulations to all of the award recipients. As you know, I live 2 minutes away, so I'm always here to help you MC your Newport Beach events. Thank you again. Congratulations to everybody, and I will see you on the news. Bye-bye.
Thank you and congratulations to all of our honorees. How about a big round of applause for everybody here tonight? Sponsors, honorees, the Marriott, table sponsors, Jeff, Chip Duncan. Did anybody mention Fire Chief Duncan? He's here tonight. Thank you, Chip, for your years of service as the chief. I also want to thank my staff members, Rochelle Lindenlaub and Jeff Parker, for their hard work in putting together this event. We have one more special gift, a Starbucks gift card courtesy of the Newport Beach Marriott Hotel and Spa and Newport Beach & Company, just as a little thank you for your service. So on your way out at the registration area, you can pick up your envelope with your card inside. Be sure to join us for the 2020 Economic Forecast and Luncheon at the Balboa Bay Resort on October 23rd. For information on these events and all chamber events, you can go to newportbeach.com. If you're not a member of the Newport Beach Chamber of Commerce, you should be. And on behalf of the chamber, we enjoyed seeing all of you tonight and enjoy the music of Eli Noli. Thank you.